We've covered quite a bit up to now for this single symmetry group, a technique to build a nested shape, a tessellation, inside a mirrored square with 4-point rotation in the middle. If you start looking a little more closely at tessellations and trying to identify the symmetry operations that are present in there, translation, mirror, rotation, you will be able to eventually identify all symmetry groups. I can usually spot a P4G tessellation with my little ditty, head to head, feet to feet, elbow to elbow, with a few body part variations. This is one of M.C. Escher's P4G tessellations from 1936. I hope it is becoming obvious to you what the process looks like to link one of the corners to the central point. Here I've tried redoing M.C. Escher's work but using Kaleido Paint on the iPad, and a bit of help from the iPad split screen option. Again, linking one of the corners to the central rotation point and tweaking using the edit menu, zooming in and out. This is my final tweaked version of M.C. Escher's 1936 The Little Crouching Man, redone in Kaleido Paint, all on the iPad. Slightly different. It always is. And to further uncomplicate matters, I've started extracting a single instance of my characters. This makes it easier for some people to understand the topic. In this version, the 4 characters have been recolored. This was done in Pixelmator on the iPad. It can be done in any pixel-based image software, Photoshop, Procreate, whatever you like using. A line from the center point, the dog's tails, to the corner point between the girl's feet. This version has been recolored in Photoshop to differentiate the characters. It makes it more pleasing to look at and easier to decipher. Head to head, feet to feet, tail to tail. Just a few more ideas showing you the potential and limits of this symmetry group, and a reason to study the next symmetry group in the next class series. I'm not a big fan of symmetry groups with mirrors, but they are part of the system, and I've studied them all. Same method starts to emerge here, head to head, feet to feet, elbow to elbow. After a while, this little ditty helps you identify these easily. The drawing is a bit skewed here, but that's because I took a photo of the framed ink and watercolor original. This is a quick one in P4G, always in Kaleido Paint. Interesting how the hands mesh together at the center. The epaulette fits under the armpit. Part of the gray hair could also be the soles of his boots. Same little ditty here, head to head, feet to feet, hand to hand. Another quick one in P4G. I call it the little crouch. The knees are at the corner point here instead of the elbows, but it's still the same little ditty, a bit modified. Head to head, feet to feet, knee to knee. In this example, I've cheated. The head borrows its top half from another instance of its reflected self. You will see this cheat fairly often in my tessellations. You could add barbells and you could be doing squats at the gym. Use your imagination. From my series of cell phone zombies, that's a story in itself. Same cheat as the little crouch, where the horizontal mirror is smack in the middle of his eyeballs, as well as a vertical bilateral symmetry of the face. Same ditty, head to head, feet to feet, elbow to elbow, with the hashtag at the elbows. That single extract with the open mouth on the forehead is a little creepy, I must say. Works better with a closed mouth, as it just looks like forehead wrinkles. Could be a wicked tattoo, though. A simple arc from the center to one of the corners, then a series of spaced arcs converging to one corner, a Zen-like activity. I call this one pastille. Reminds me of a classy gumdrop wrapper. A fairly simple line that reaches the center, then boomerangs back to the mirror, a bit different than usual. I've tried it and discovered that you can actually stack a whole series of characters along the mirror, as long as one of them reaches the center point. That will be another lesson. Mirrors, rotations, translations. Escher uses the same line principles as I've explained in this class to create his symmetry work 123. To me, they look like flying fish, seen from above. Escher has linked the central four-way rotation point to one of the corners. I attempted to recreate MC Escher's flying fish tessellation in Kaleido Paint. With a bit of practice beforehand, I was able to draw it in a few minutes. Notice my tweaking of the lines, zooming in and out to view the results and tweaking some more, entering and exiting the edit mode, and adding the final lines, the eyes. Enjoy! This is an exported image direct from KaleidoPaint. This is my version of MC Escher's Flying Fish in Symmetry Group P4G. A bit different than the original, but that's okay. A bit of recoloring for the fish going left-right. The colors were added using Pixelmator on the iPad. And more color to the fish swimming up and down. This class was about only one of the 17 symmetry groups. My next class will deal with one of the other ways we can create tessellations. I think I've given you enough examples and the simplest of methods to create a nested shape tessellation. Go out and practice your lines. Let your intuition kick in. Let your imagination see what's in those shapes. Tweak lots and show me what you can do. Ask questions and I will answer as best I can. The next symmetry group we will study is quite similar to this one. A three-way rotation, but all within an equilateral triangle. Cheers! That's an anagram of Escher.